Hello YouTube, my name's Rob. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I haven't really put any planning for or even much care into this, but I thought I would give it a go. So I had come up with a really good name though, and I'm going to call it Stuttering Through. Why? Because it's my show, and I want to call it that, you know? Tough. Contrary to my severe case of a baby face, I'm pretty damn old. Not like senior old, but you know, I'm old enough that I understand like the true value of contents insurance. But my early memories are starting to blur, so I thought I'd take some time, record myself playing some of the games I've enjoyed over the years, some new, some old, whatever, I don't care, I'm just going to do it. So I thought this week I'd play an old DOS game that I barely remember and no one will ever search. What the fuck am I doing with my life? A Titanic Adventure Out of Time is a game I hazily remember from my childhood. Always remember that I never had a clue what was happening when I played it, but I still spent quite a large amount of time actually playing it. Made by Cyberflix, a Titanic Adventure Out of Time is a point and click adventure game which sees you assume the role of British secret agent Frank Carson on a fully explorable, historically accurate version of the Titanic. I've decided to go back in time and see why little me found this game so fascinating. Let's boot it up. Well, the game actually starts in this little bedsit in London in like World War II. It's set like a good 20 years obviously after the sinking of the Titanic, and during this bit you're expected to poke around some of your shit whilst I assume someone who is your landlady bitches at you through a wall.
About time you're awake. You're 2 weeks late with the rent.
Yes, Miss Landlady. After poking around for a bit and staring at some broken ass old watch, air raid sirens blast and you get blown up and you presumably die. Yay! But death does not greet you. Instead you're blasted backwards in time to the Titanic because reasons. I don't know. So the real game then kicks off with a knock on your cabin door on board the Titanic.
Good evening. I am Smevels, your steward.
Smevels? Smevels? Fucking Smevels? It's brilliant. No, it's great. I can't fault it. A 10 out of 10. A+. Well done. After giving you a rundown of the ship, Smevels passes on a message to meet someone called PP. PP.
2,200 on board, and they all want messages delivered promptly.
Whoa, Smevels, you clearly need a career change, mate, because your people skills are just awful. So after waxing lyrical with Smevels for a bit, he decides to go and leave you in peace.
If you require additional assistance, please ring the bell by the door. Good night.
So now you're free to go and explore the ship and meet its colourful range of characters, all of which are delightfully haunting in their own way. And sometimes, well, the voice acting is a little, well...
And you'll not find one better at taking you where you want to go. Where to?
Back on track with the main story, we're going to the gym to meet PP. PP? Who points far too much for the way that I like it, as I feel like I'm being constantly told off. No. No.
10 days ago, the Bureau got word that Zeitel has in his possession a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, stolen 2 months ago in Paris after its purchase by a very highly placed member of His Majesty's government.
Why did 10-year-old me even care about this game? I'm 31 now and I'm struggling to understand what the fuck she's on about. So, the crux of this game sees you following leads around the ship, trying to get your hands on 4 key items. There is some old book, a painting, a notepad, and a necklace. Acquiring them is much harder than you'd think. having to solve loads of puzzles, following leads and branching stories that can possibly lead you to an early death or even unknowingly losing while to fall a key item. So this actually gives the game quite a bit of breadth, even by today's standards. Getting around the ship at the start can be quite confusing, but once you work out you can liberally fast travel around the map, you'll soon start learning your way around the ship. There is also one more party on the ship who is also after the same key items as you, and in a good old 90s fashion, our villain is German. His name is Zeitel, whose smugness is second only to his companion's stabby death face. For some reason, even though you're just a passenger, there are times where you need to go down to the engine room, where for some reason this useless twat decides you are the best person to fix the engine on the Titanic. And also, I'm not sure if it was just the way that I emulated the game or how it was originally made, but this section almost gave me bloody tinnitus. Also, please don't expect some great action set pieces in this, although the ones they do have are present. However, one thing I will say is this game has given me a very, very good idea what to do if I ever find myself in a real actual fist fight. Dick kick, face punch, 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 dick kick, face punch. This game is relatively easily paced right up until you're about to claim the notebook, when the fated ship smashes into the iceberg. After this section you get clocked with a wrench by a really angry bruised dick Russian, and upon awakening you only have 1 hour to try and get your hands on all 4 of the key items and escape the sinking ship. Which wouldn't really be a problem, but they remove your ability to fast travel, which makes everything really confusing because now you've got to join all the fucking dots up and the ship's sinking and you've got to find a fucking baby for these 2 morons, and you've got to find a scarf for this bruised dick Russian and a painting for this treacherous fuck in order to get the antidote to save this unlikable non-person. It got a little bit stressful. After finding a way off the boat, you sit and you watch this semi-traumatizing sequence of a boat sinking. The game itself actually has 8 different endings. Well, there's actually 9 if you regard dying on the Titanic as one. Each of the 4 key items have made a political impact, which alter the course of history. If either the book or the necklace leave with Mr. Bruised Dick, then this funds the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, no, not that one, which in turn leads to the First Great War, or World War I if you will. If you manage to save the notebook, communism never comes to Russia after the killing of Lenin and Trotsky. Finally, if the painting is saved, it goes on to inspire Hitler to put all of his focus into art, and instead he becomes a successful painter and World War II never happens. Simple as that, right? Yay! Different combinations of these events happening or not happening can result in different endings. For example, you can prevent World War I and Russian communism, but if you don't get that painting to Hitler, the Nazis will go on to win the Second World War as Russia isn't strong enough to withstand Hitler's regime. It's oddly interesting in an actually quite clever way. Well done. A Titanic Adventure Out of Time is a weirdly great game. I sort of expect... Yeah?
Can I have a cup of tea, please?
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Sort of.
Sorry.
It's okay. I sort of expected to find a game where I could easily, take the piss out of all its crass animations and stuff. But what I actually found was, although were bits are a bit weird, it was actually a really satisfying playing experience. Well, the game itself is actually free to download. It was actually put up there by the original creators, and I'll put a link to the website. If you do have a PC and you want to try it out, I'd definitely say it's worth having a go. And that's it for the first episode of Stuttering Through. It's been quite an experience for me. I hope it's been a sort of experience for you guys. And I suppose that's me out. Cheers.